All right, welcome and thanks for tuning in. This tutorial of Solidworks is going to show how to generate a spur and rack gear arrangement for this example with a module of 3 and number of teeth is 12. Okay, we start by creating a new part and we just save it in this directory. It's going to be the spur gear. And we start also entering in the equations that were shown previously. Module is 3, alpha, pressure angle, 20 degrees. Number of teeth for the spur gear, there I put an underscore S for it, it's 12. The profile shift is your X value. I set it at 0. Pitch height is for the rack. That's going to be given as 32. And it's going to vary from from gear to gear or gear pair to gear pair. Then the pitch diameter, we know that's the module times the number of teeth. And the base diameter is the pitch diameter times the cosine of the pressure angle. That's where the involute profile begins. I have another YouTube video of spur gears that shows the base diameter, so you can watch that as well. The addendum for the spur gear is just by the equation. It's 1 plus the profile shift times the module, while the addendum for the rack is the module. Next we have the tooth depth. It's the same for both the spur gear and the rack gear. That's why I didn't put an underscore. The major diameter for the spur gear is the pitch diameter plus 2 times the addendum. And the root diameter for the spur gear is the major diameter minus twice the tooth depth. And now we need theta. Oh, mounting distance. We need the mounting distance between the two gears. And that was an equation shown before. Okay, now this is the half tooth angle for the spur gear. It's 360 divided by 4 times the number of teeth. And then we need the tooth width of the rack gear. So if you imagine the rack, if you turn the spur gear 1 revolution, it's going to move pi d divided by the number of teeth. Now we're modeling the spur gear, of course. First, create your major diameter and extrude that for a distance of your gear thickness. Here I just used 10 millimeters. And now we create another sketch with our 4 circles. And the 4 circles make them all construction. And the biggest one is the major diameter plus 1. We're going to cut. We're going to be cutting, so make it plus 1. We'll be cutting from that surface. And then the next circle is the pitch circle, and the base circle, and then the root diameter circle. Now we need the equation for the parametric profile, which is the base diameter times the cosine plus t sine t equation. And that is going to be sine t minus t sine t. And I forgot to multiply by half to get it to the radius. And now it's at the radius. So now we can make sure that we constrain that to be fixed so it doesn't move around. And now we draw our profile. The lines that are smaller than the root diameter, I made them for construction. This last line that is going to be coincident with the pitch circle, and it's going to have an angle of the half tooth diameter that sets the half tooth. And our profile is almost ready. We just need 2 arcs. So there's one, and here's the other. Make it coincident with the involute profile. And now we can use that profile to create an extruded cut from here. Change the direction. And select up to surface. And there's your half tooth. So create a mirror, or first create a plane to mirror about. It's going to be coincident with that face. And then that's one tooth cut. And the rest of the teeth are going to be, or the teeth cut, are going to be a circular pattern and use the number of teeth. Okay, we create a new assembly now, and we place the spur gear we just created at the origin and give it a name, save it. Now we create a new part, which is going to be the rack. And I'll use inPlace assembly modeling techniques to create the rack gear. And I'll slurp in the equations from the spur gear. Okay, I need to save these to a file first. I'll create a new file. And now all the equations we just created from the spur gear are in a equations.txt file. And now the rack gear, we're gonna link them to that txt file. And we can here now remove these D1 at sketch, D2 at sketch. We don't need any of those. Those are particular to the spur gear. The rest will be equations will be useful. So we create a sketch on the front plane of this part. And that's going to be, that line there is going to be the mounting distance away from the spur gear. And that other line now is going to be a construction line. That's going to be the pitch height of the rack. And now we create the profile for the teeth. The teeth of the rack are straight. They don't have that envelope curve that's governed by sine and cosine. So we create 2 because we need to know we're going to use that tooth width. So the angle between the 2 lines is 40, while the angle between each is 20. That's going to be addendum, from the top, and from the top to the bottom is going to be the tooth depth. Now we just need to make some constraints here. Make those parallel. Make those parallel. Now I need to make all the lands equal. And probably also need to make them collinear. Okay, now I'm putting the point. This point is coincident from there to there, and that point is coincident. So now the dimension. Okay, now I made them collinear. And those are also collinear. Now the dimension of one tooth is from that equation that we showed previously. And now we know that point is going to be coincident with the pitch circle of the other gear. And there it fits perfectly. Okay, now I don't have closed profile, so I have to trim all of the extra stuff. Solidworks won't let you generate an extrusion if you don't have a closed profile. And now we just generate it to the front face of the spur gear and create a linear pattern. The number doesn't matter, but the distance must be the tooth width of each gear. We'll go back to the assembly and save it. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, thank you.